Hi ladies and gentlemen, so for the sake of time, I did not want to rant and rave in person about this just nightmare scenario that happened. So, as you guys know, the third mask that we are going to be working on is Lord Death's classic mask. The mask that he wore when he was in his prime, kind of being a badass, not necessarily a dad, although some would say they're interchangeable, regardless. This one, by far, has the most detail of all the masks that we've created, kind of how I meant to lay this out from a person that's wanting to improve in this specific regard, to have something that has pretty much no detail, a little bit of detail, and then quite a bit of detail is exactly what I was going for, kind of the easy, medium, and then hard. Now, the thing is this one was actually really doable, but the clay that I was working with is a nightmare to actually mold with this time around. Yeah, I don't know. Essentially, I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to make it because it sounds like I'm making excuses, but it just was not working for me. It was really brittle. It wasn't really holding its shape. I kept having to fight with it. It kept sagging down as well. Yeah. Only criticism I really found, for myself in this whole thing, is that I should get better at practicing layering, because even with bad clay, you can kind of help it along by essentially just doing layers. So you do a tiny little layer there, build up that part, do a tiny little layer there, build up that part, and then you're much better off not having to do almost 3 centimeters thick of the thing, right? Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that is kind of it. Now, with that being said, though, the teeth, I wanted to point this out as well. The reason why the teeth are not super elongated, which is what we're kind of going for with this mask, is because I actually wanted to try something different where I kept the mask kind of right at my top lip, and I didn't let it exceed past my other bottom lip. The reason why is because I hate talking with something pushed up against my mouth. It's hard to speak when something's pushed up against your mouth. So that is essentially why I did that, but that is also why it may not look as 100% right, because having a little bit longer real estate would have made it look a little more legit. Anywho, onward and upward. The rest of the video plays as follows. Just know that the clay was hard as hell to actually manage, so forgive me, as always. Anyways, bye guys. Hi ladies and gentlemen, me back in the void, although let's not have the void weirdness. There we go, talking normal now. Hi. So, with the addition of the clay fighting me at every possible turn, that meant there was a huge emphasis on sanding. Sanding, and you guessed it, more sanding. It's like it never ends, and I know this is what everyone fears and hates about this kind of stuff, is the meticulous tiny details, although honestly, it helped a lot. With getting all the details right, although again, most of the texture and distance and width and density and all that kind of stuff is should at least be made in the clay process, where it is the most valuable, and not you having to scrape at it just to get it to kind of conform to a little bit more to what you would want. But needless to say, this took a good bit of time, and I just want to kind of skim by it because it's just me sanding with a tiny little baby file. Just trying to chip away and create these divots so that your bones can actually sink into, and I honestly look like a skull. So I drew out the lines, and as you guys can see, that's me kind of tracing it with the hand file, and all that lovely stuff. But anyways, regardless, now we just have to do more sanding, but I probably will cut that out. But now we're just basically going to paint it with plaster, and that is essentially almost done. So go team, and yeah. Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome either to the first time you've seen me or the second. I did do like a kind of like explanation of what we're doing or what we're going for in this video, but I'm not sure if I'll actually use that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally also, Grinn, did you film us all on the same day? Maybe. Okay, so this is the mask at its end tier. Of course you can't see because it's overexposed. I'll fix that in a minute, but I want to talk about it I guess I should probably make it visible before you guys can actually... Alrighty, I'm a shadow and it's now somewhat in focus. Okay, so this is the mask, and again, one of the things that kind of like makes me mad a little bit is that you can't like in the way the camera sees things is like very like I can't do this to you. I can't like scroll a thing on a camera and make you see something darker. Your eyes perceive light in a very specific way. But with a camera, it like super intensifies these like bags under his eyes where you cannot see that when you're looking directly at it. So it's like, it's frustrating anyways. Also, has still not got the Velcro straps. I really do want to get them. I've ordered them. It's taken a long time to ship because COVID's weird. Anyways, regardless. The thing with this mask, and forgive me because I got to rant to you guys because every now and again, I got it. This is the way I improve. I get all the toxic badness here so that I can stick on and keep moving on, I guess. But this one was such a grueling task for me. The reason why is because the clay fought me the entire way. And then because the clay fought me, I had to basically make things up on the fly and really pivot to sanding. Just sanding and sanding and sanding and yeah. And again, you can get good clay. Like that's the thing that makes me so frustrated is that this could have been a funner experience if I just were to be like, you know what, let's wait until we have better clay and not try to not waste this extremely inexpensive product that anybody can make almost. I think if you have flour and some slight glue and all that. Anywho, but that's also the problem. I think I'm following a really crappy recipe for the stuff that makes this hard mask. That aside of me being kind of frustrated about the whole thing, you guys can kind of see in the image right here, you can see that Lord Death has this very specific cartoony way of showing his teeth, where it's like there's lines, but they don't follow any reason. And yeah, so for me, I thought, okay, well, let's try to make it a little bit more real. But also, the other thing that I also did was this mask should be a little longer. It should be, but I didn't make it that way. So the teeth should be like probably about there. About there, the teeth should probably stop. Now, why didn't they stop there, Grinn? Was the clay fighting you and you were just really over it? Yeah, but no, not that really. That kind of, but I could have easily just come back the next day and added an inch of clay on, or like quarter inch of clay on the teeth. It wouldn't have been that bad of a problem. The reason why I didn't elongate the teeth is because I actually wanted to see if I could make a mask that ended at the center of my mouth, so it didn't like overhang over my entire lips, because every time I speak I have to like muffle my lips and it's kind of weird. So I wanted to have one that kind of stopped, give or take, around my lips and pushed outwards, like bowed out, which you guys can kind of see that these ones do. They like push forward a curve a little bit, so I can put it on and not have it like right up on my face. Regardless, as for the mask and how it looks on my face, this one fits perfectly. This one, again, is just snug in exactly the right places. It hits my nose. It doesn't feel like I'm trapped or anything like that. I'm trying to get the best possible angle, but it's kind of being sketchy. Anywho, let me go. Do you guys really want me to throw on the hood and all that? I guess. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the end result. Again, happy with them, especially considering the hood and like everything kind of just makes this easy to deal with the look. You just need like a mask that generically looks like a skull. You're kind of okay, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it, more or less. I'm very happy with it. I'm even more happy to kind of be stopped. Like I keep having ideas of things I want to do, and I think that's the beauty of creation, is that an improvement for that matter is when you find ideas that you want to complete, like these things that you want to work towards. I find I work better that way, whereas me, I've had like this regiment for improving my skill by doing something that is kind of easy, easy, medium, and then hard, this being kind of the harder one to do. But I wasn't really like, I loved the first two I did, but then the third one I was kind of like, I want to try something different. I want to create like I want to do a mask, like that's just the lower half of your face kind of thing. To tell you the truth, I kind of want to do Deku's from My Hero Academia's mask. So I think we might be doing that next, just depending on how I feel. and depending on when I can get the right clay that I feel comfortable and I feel like it's worth investing learning in this, because it actually will do the same thing twice and not be different every single time you use it, you know. Anywho, yeah, so that's something that I think I'm happy that this is now done, is that I think I will just pursue everything now. I won't be trying to go, you know, beginning, medium, and an end. I'll just be going whatever I want. Some may vary in intensity and hardness, but hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get there. I'm sweaty. It's so hot today, and putting on this sweater and this mask is just real not a good time right now. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. You've been nothing shy of lovely. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.